Well, hello. Today's the 1980 horror movie, The Fog. Strange things are happening in Antonio Bay the night before the centennial celebrations. In the church, a falling piece of plaster reveals an old diary that tells of the town's founders are responsible for killing a ship of lepers. Three fishermen run into a ghost ship and are killed by the crew. A piece of driftwood reveals that six must die. Late at night, the fog comes back, and this time it kills a local weatherman. The DJ's house is attacked and the babysitter is killed. The son, though, is rescued and they flee to the church. The DJ in the lighthouse implores the residents to seek shelter. They barricade themselves in the church as the priest finds the stolen gold, which has been melted into a cross. The gold cross seems to drive away the ghosts, and everybody is safe. Or are they? So, after the big success of Halloween, John Carpenter got a two-picture deal from Avco. And, one of them was this movie, The Fog, and of course the other was Escape from New York. Apparently, when he was in England visiting Stonehenge, he got the idea when he saw the fog roll in. And he also took inspiration from the Trollenberg Terror. Or if you're an MST3K fan, you'd know it as The Crawling Eye. Yeah, it was a fun movie. And anyway, so, he got this movie together. He cast some scream queens for it. Jamie Lee Curtis, who was from his Halloween, and her mother, Janet Leigh, who we all know like from Psycho and that, and his at the time wife, Adrienne Barbeau, who he also ended up using in Escape from New York. And originally, when he first shot it, he was not very happy with it. So he had to kind of do a lot of reshoots and that. He added some extra stuff like the scene with Adrienne Barbeau on the lighthouse roof escaping the ghosts, and the one scene where where the dead guy came back to life, and that in the morgue. And it just like a 1.1 million budget, even with the reshoots, it got a little expensive, but it still made 21 million, so it was definitely a big solid money maker for the studio. And it's a fun movie, I think. I mean, yeah, it has slow pacing stuff in that. I kind of like that though. It's kind of relaxing to see movies that don't seem to have to be rushed and go boom boom boom, and you can just sit back and enjoy it. And it's apparently the novelization talked about that the ghosts were specifically going after the descendants of those that killed them back a century ago. Now, that wasn't really made clear in the movie, so but I guess it kind of makes a little bit more sense, kind if you think about it. And there was some odd stuff like all of a sudden they pull out that cross of gold, like okay, you kill a whole bunch of lepers and that for their gold, but somehow one guy is able to just squirrel it away and make it into a cross of gold. It's kind of a little bit far fetched. But it, and yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I think it was really a creepy movie. You know, it had the fog rolling in. It's something that I just recently discovered. I never really watched it for a long while. And apparently it also made a remake in 2005, which, you know, seems the 21st century, they're very bereft of any kind of creativity. And that movie was apparently considered very bad. And I really have no interest in watching it. So, you know, this is a good, you know, Carpenter, like, always, you know, originally the critics didn't care for it, but over time they've kind of softened, and it's become a kind of a cult classic like most of his movies are. And I enjoy his movies. They just seem to have the right type, and, you know, there's this kind of endings where, you know, you think it's okay, but then all of a sudden he just pops something right up again. Like, oh, wow, okay. He kind of has a cynical way of ending movies, but I like it. And it's a fun little horror movie. I think if you like that kind of stuff, you should check it out. If you like John Carpenter movies, definitely. So if you stuck me this long, I thank you. You're a unique individual.